This edition of the Ridley Report is brought to you by
Beverly.com, Beverly.com.
Mike grabs this sign and enters the building with it. His compatriots watch from the sidewalk as he is ordered out by security. He leaves slowly, backwards, aiming the sign at the guards as curious onlookers poke their heads out of office doors. Meanwhile, Pete can't find a parking spot anywhere near the Fed building, and thus ends up in a lot several blocks away. He uses his BlackBerry to gather more data. Turns out the arrested employee, Complatos, was only detained. He's already out and about after being separated from the owner and receiving a citation. But there's a disturbing and unusual new development. Agents have taken the information gathered from Complatos and performed an instant second raid, this time on the home of a Manchester Free Stater, Chamorro Gid, another fictional character. This raid is ongoing, according to a 411 call just 10 minutes old. At 3:45, Eyre faces a dilemma: build the Concord protest or rush to the Manchester scene. The Free Stater has left an address on the call, so Eyre makes another snap decision. He calls Mike at the Fed building protest and says, "Unless you know something I don't, we're heading to Manchester to monitor the situation at Chamorro's house." He calls Port 411 to announce the same. Meanwhile, Jennifer is broadcasting live video of the mini-protest from the Fed building using her smartphone and Quick account. A fifth activist, a Concord resident, has now arrived at the compound. He agrees to take the existing signs and one flag, holding the fort at Concord while the rapid response crew heads south. Marv arrives near the Fed building, picks up the 4 other attached activists, and they're off to Manch Vegas. By now it's 4:15 p.m., about an hour and 15 minutes after the first call came in. On the drive, Jennifer aims her live camera at Frederick, who recounts all the information they have so far. He details what has already happened at the first protest. He requests activists at the Fed building and the Manchester scene. He provides suggestions for things activists can do to ease the increasing burden on Marv's crew that day. Jennifer's Quick account is linked to her YouTube account, which is relatively popular. So rather than being marooned on Quick, the video gets to YouTube and lots of viewers within an hour. By 4:30, 24 activists in 3 countries are mobilized in reaction to this event. Some make videos from where they are, using file tape or just aiming the camera at themselves. Another goes to libertarian web forums and posts information about the event. Facebook and Twitter both go into action. Mike begins calling local media himself from his cell phone in the front passenger seat. He informs them of the ongoing raid and of the plan to picket nearby. At 5 p.m., about 2 hours after the call came in, Marv appears on the scene of an unfolding tragedy. In defiance of a federal order, Chamorro has attempted to make a second call to 411. Mistaking the phone for a weapon, an agent has tackled the activist, who lands on the back of his head and falls unconscious. By this time, 2 Manchester activists are already on the scene. One videotapes it while the other waves a Gadsden flag. In the dusk, he gets grainy images of Chamorro being gurneyed away from his home. 4 agents turn their attention toward the approaching picketers and order them not to proceed further. Authorities attempt to question them, but receive no answers. 3 blocks from the home, Marv stops to let out 2 activists. They spread out to opposite sides of the street and proceed on foot. Then the mobile home turns right and attempts to approach the home from the opposite direction. By this time, Jason has resigned himself to losing sleep and is aimed toward the excitement. He, Pete, and Jennifer approach the scene from the south now via Marv. 4 more officers detach from the scene and order them to turn the vehicle around.
Ma'am, get back in the vehicle.
When Jason and Jennifer attempt to exit the vehicle, they are ordered back in. They fail to get video. Both normally comply. The vehicle then backs away. But now another activist with 4 concerned citizens approaches from the other side. 2 cameras are rolling as the growing traffic detail confronts them. All are ordered to remain in the vehicle. One exits anyway with his camera and is arrested. By then there is a mainstream media presence and a union leader photographer snaps images of the arrest. Later she quizzes federal agents regarding Chamorro's injury. During the interview, an agent lies to her about issues surrounding the warrant. This comes to light several weeks later and results in a separate newspaper article. Unfinished with their search of the home, frustrated by the presence of opposition, federal police call in locals and request they cordon off the street for 1 block in either direction of the house. They are to let no one through other than people who can show they live behind the police line. You say you don't like big government, but how much are you feeding it?
Much.
Would you like to lawfully limit the bite it takes from your paycheck?
Yes.
Head over to Beverly.com. Beverly.com. Not only are they a great New England tax and financial firm, they're also the reason you're seeing an increase in Ridley-O production.
I like Ridley-O.
Give them a look at Beverly.com. Beverly.com.